Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Pete Dederko, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager for Microsoft Teams, where I lead our marketing integration with Microsoft Power Platform. I'm joined by Genevieve Estrada, a Partner Technical Architect for Microsoft Teams App Development. And today, we'd like to share with you how you can build custom apps, bots, automated workflows for Microsoft Teams, even if you have no development experience, thanks to the robust integration with Microsoft Power Platform. Today, we'll plan to share some details about the Teams and Power Platform integration and overviews of Teams plus Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. The majority of our time will be spent actually rolling up our sleeves and showing you how to build your own custom apps, automated workflows, and bots using these tools. Even if you've never seen or heard of them before, don't worry, because we'll show you how some innovations we're excited about are making it easier than ever to get started building. And lastly, we'll share some resources to help you think about both what you may want to build, as well as how to do it. Well, if you've been paying attention to the Teams and Power Platform integration in the recent past, you'll likely notice a steady drumbeat of investment and innovation, in no small part due to the challenging reality of remote work. Starting in November of 2019, app makers could build their apps, make them into first-class citizens in Teams, with an easy publishing capability in Power Apps. Then in early 2020, we released a crisis communication solution built on Power Platform and made it available for any customer to download and deploy to Teams, so they can easily share important information and resources with their organization in times of crisis. Then we introduced the ability to build custom AI-powered bots for Teams in an easy, logic-based manner with Power Virtual Agents. And now, as we'll show shortly, the creation experience has become even simpler thanks to the tools that are being made more powerful and a number of innovations which I'll discuss. And with these improvements, we've seen fairly dramatic increases in the breadth of usage. For example, with the usage of Power Apps and Teams more than tripling over a span of 3 months earlier this year. Now is a very exciting time for the Power Platform and Teams integration, whether you're an experienced creator or have never used these tools before. And that's because so much of our focus has been on making Power Platform and Teams simple to build, seamless to deploy, and easy to manage. First, an embedded Maker Studio for Power Apps and Power Virtual Agents means that you can build custom apps and bots for Teams right inside of Teams. And these are simple to build and deploy thanks to Project Oakdale, a brand new relational database that supports rich data types built specifically for Power Platform solutions in Teams. In a case starting from a blank canvas is daunting, Power Automate is providing new, easier to use workflow templates, and fully functional Power Platform solutions will be available in the Teams App Store. It's either to use as is or to customize for your organization's unique needs. And lastly, additional resources can help with everything from ideation of what scenarios to solve to putting the finishing touches on your solution. Okay, so on to seeing these capabilities in action. And to get us started, I'll pass it over to Genevieve. Over to you, Genevieve.
Thanks, Pete, and hi everyone. My name is Genevieve, and I'll be taking the next few minutes to go through everything that you need to know to get started with Teams and Power Apps. So Microsoft Teams apps have been gaining a lot of traction with both our customers and our partners because it really provides that bridge between the Teams client and your services and workflows, bringing them into the context of where you collaborate and where you have your conversations. So for a lot of people, this could be ready-to-use apps like your Office apps or the hundreds of partner apps integrated within Teams. But a lot of the time, these out-of-the-box solutions just don't work for your organization's needs or for the business problem that you're solving. And that's where custom apps really come in handy. And we've made building and deploying these custom apps even easier for you.
Whether you're a developer or have no coding experience at all, through the low-code development tools of the Power Platform, we're empowering you to easily build custom apps and bots natively within Teams, which is really what this Power Platform integration in Teams is all about, really opening up the doors for you and removing those barriers where you might not have been able to build your app because of capacity or cost or skill concerns. And we refer to this Power Platform integration in Teams as Project Oakdale. And here you have some examples of custom apps you can more easily spin up with this integration, such as the Hospital Bed Inventory Tracker, Crisis Comms app, and the Asset Inspection app, which I'll be showing you in a short while. So what does this look like in action? I've switched over to my Teams client and we'll navigate to the Power Apps app here, which I've pinned onto my left rail. But if you don't have it pinned, you can easily find for the Power Apps app by going to the Teams App Store and searching for it. Or if you click onto here and search for Power Apps, you can find it as well. But since I have it pinned, I'll just go ahead and click onto here. And even from this page, we're already seeing a difference with what we can do. By clicking Create an App, we're able to open up the Power Apps App Studio, which is now embedded in Teams. And that lets users rapidly build the no-code and low-code apps all in this one integrated experience. So if I select the team, Contoso, for example, and press Create, it brings us to the Power Apps App Studio. And as you saw, I didn't even have to switch out of Teams at all. It's all native within Teams. So Project Oakdale is also built atop the Common Data Service and provides relational data storage, rich data types, and enterprise-grade governance. To demonstrate this built-in data platform, we'll be creating a table called Event Itinerary. So as you can see, it's all built in and you have an easy to use editable data table, so there's no need to connect to storage. All users can now easily create custom data tables that are team and scenario specific. So from scratch, from your data creation to building your app, it really optimizes your team's processes and improves efficiency with it being a low-code platform and low-code data storage. And you can immediately use this data that you just created. To show an example, if we create a new screen here and maybe go for list, we can use this event itinerary data table that we just created and populate this list. And there we have it. It populates the one entry that we had, breakfast, meet, and greet. Project Oakdale also enables a simplified sharing model for owners and members, which makes it easy to deploy your app. And with just one click using this Publish to Teams button here, you can easily deploy to your team or share it with your entire organization through the app catalog. There's really no limit on the number of apps you can create natively and publish within Teams. Of course, the same thing applies if you wanted to spin up an app and have an existing data source that you wanted to connect it to. In this example, I have a new blank canvas, and if I wanted to create a device ordering app, it would be exactly the same as if I created it in the Power Apps for browser version, except I can now do all of this without leaving Teams. So if I wanted to drag and drop in a text label of my app's name, it's the same drag and drop functionality as you have in browser version. And I'll just change this to device ordering app. And I can change the alignment to center and change the font size to maybe 25. So it's exactly the same text formatting as well in this native Teams version. And if I wanted to add in another label that maybe said hello and then my name, I can do all of this from the formula bar, which is the same as browser version again, and use the exact same formulas that I usually would. So functionality is pretty much one for one. There we go, hello Genevieve Estrada. And now if I wanted to add in a horizontal gallery so we can view all our devices, I can drag and drop that in and choose the data source that I want to connect it to. So in this case, I'll choose an Excel data source since that's what I have. Import from Excel and choose my table device order data. And I'll choose devices since that's what we want to show. Press connect and you'll see my devices pop up here. And I'll just extend this to make it look a bit nicer. And if you wanted to extend it, you can also do template fill. So if you wanted to click on a certain device and have the background color change, you can do that using formulas again. If this item is selected, then I want it to turn maybe light blue. Close the bracket, enter, and if we preview it, you can see if I click on the different devices, it changes to light blue. top of building your own apps and solutions, you can also take advantage of solutions and templates pre-built for you, be able to easily install them and further customize them for your organization. So if you go to the Teams App Store here in the bottom left, let's explore this Asset Inspection App template. Add to a team, and I'll just choose my Contoso team and set up the tab. Once the Asset Inspection App template is installed, you can see that it creates two separate apps, one for employee-facing and one for manager-facing. So if we just continue with this employee-facing app here and click Inspect an Item, it takes us to this page where we can choose bike or truck. I'll just go back to all and choose maybe the eco bike. And I can then inspect the bike. So maybe if I click on brakes, and I can do my inspection. So maybe I'll say okay, and go down to tires, no issues there. Click review inspection. And you can see that I've completed it and submit the inspection. And then we get taken to a confirmation page that it's been submitted. And I can go back to maybe the home page. And this updates for me. So I've contributed one inspection report to my team. And if we go to the manager view, we can see that this has flowed through. If I click on EcoBike, you can see that my entry was submitted. And if I click into this, you can see that no issues were reported, which was exactly what I submitted. And as a manager, I can change the review status. Since there's no issues, I'll just close it. And press close. And if I go back, you can see that the status here has changed as well. And if I go to Inspection Insights, you'll see that it's a big dashboard full of different data points. So there's still 5 inspections pending review, one that I just closed, and even some graphs here to show you some data points that may be important to you. 7 days, 30 days, 60 days. And my top inspection report contributors would just be me since I've only filled in one report. And if we go to inspection forms, you can see that I can actually add a form here. So if we just add one, let's call it test form, just so that when we view it later, it's easy to identify. Asset type, let's go truck. And I can add steps. And again, I'll just change this to test step 1, so it's easier to identify later. I can duplicate this and go test step 2 maybe. And I can save this. So you can see it's saved as a form here. Also edit the app templates by going to the Power Apps app and clicking on Installed Apps. And you'll see that it actually takes you to the Power Apps app designer as we saw before. And you can go in Preview, you can see all the different screens that we just saw. The welcome screen, the asset screen, forms, all the way to confirmation screen. And you can customize this however way you want. So maybe for welcome screen, I'll put color here. Confirmation screen, maybe I wanted to change the confirmation message to just your inspection has been submitted. And you can save that. And you can publish it to Teams as well. For an end-to-end experience over your Project Oakdale data, we can also build in automation using Power Automate. It's very common for employees to spend a good deal of their day performing a lot of repetitive and manual tasks like answering emails, sifting through documents, and approving requests. Automation streamlines these everyday business processes and gives that time back so employees can focus on activities that actually matter. It can also create new ways for everyone to work within teams. For example, automatically triggering an approval request and then being able to approve or reject it directly within the team's chat, all the way to having an important task mentioned in a Teams channel message and being able to create a planner task out of that. The same way we opened up the Power Apps app, let's open up the new Power Automate app within Teams. So from the get-go, we see a bunch of Power Automate templates available for us to use. And if you wanted to create your own flow, you can also create one here and see any existing flows you've already created up here. But the really exciting tab is this Create tab. So like the Home tab, it shows all the templates that's pre-built and available for instant usage. And it also has different categories that you can search through to make it easier to look for the template that you're looking for. But again, if you don't really have any templates that suit what you're trying to do, you can always create one from blank. But for now, let's look at this awesome new template called Post a Welcome Message when a user joins a team. So you can see that this diet designer capability here makes it really easy for us to create a flow from within Teams. And the flow name is already populated for us, and I'll just leave it. And we're also all already signed in to the apps that the flow needs to use. So I'll just click continue. It then prompts us to select a team and the channel that we want this flow to go into. And I will just put it into this new team I created, test team, in the general channel. You can further customize the welcome message if you really wanted to, but I'll just leave it as is, as I think it's pretty good. And done. If we go back to home and look at the flows that we've created, the one that I just made should pop up right here. There you go. And if you wanted to extend this and do something more advanced with the template available, you can always edit it straight from Teams natively. No context switching here. And these first 3 steps are what came with the pre-built template. But if we wanted to extend it, say, when a new team member joins, not only do they get a welcome message in the Teams channel, but we also create that automatic meeting in Teams so that all the team members can get to know the new member, then we can continue and extend this. So let's add new step. And we want to go and search for meetings in Outlook. So we can just go to Outlook and find meeting times. Required attendees, we'll put the mail of the new user, and also I'll put my demo email as well so we can test it later and see that that flowed through. New step, we want to initialize this variable. Let's just call it first run. And set a condition. If it's equal to true, then we apply. So this would be the meeting time slot that we find. And then we want to create that meeting in Teams. Create a Teams meeting. Calendar, subject, welcome, name to the team. Message, setting aside time for everyone to meet. Give a name. Time zone, we can just do UTC. Start time, that can just be the start meeting time slot, the end meeting time slot, and the required attendees would just be mail, and also my email address so we can test it out. And then we set this variable back to false. Let's save this template. And as with the Power Automate on browser, you also still have this flow tracker and the test function right within Teams. And let's click test. So if I go to my team and I add a new member, and this is just a dummy team member that I'm adding, Adele, add, close, and go back to Power Automate. And go back to testing it. And there we go, the flow is running because I just added that team member. And every time a flow gets completed, it shows you that it's been completed. And as it's getting executed, for some that might take more time, such as when you're creating that Teams meeting, then it shows that timer. But everything is successful. So if I go to Teams, it shows my welcome message. Please welcome me in joining Adele. And if I go to my calendar, it shows that that meeting is booked for you. So hopefully this is starting to paint a picture in your head of how being able to create and implement these flows natively within Teams can save you even more time and change the way we work in Teams. So far, we've seen how you can create data, apps, and workflows, but let's not forget bots. And with that, I'll give it back to Pete to go over what we can do with Power Virtual Agents.
Thanks, Genevieve. Well, in case you're not familiar with the newest member of the Power Platform family, Power Virtual Agents, it allows anyone to build chatbots without writing a single line of code. And now you can build these bots for Teams from inside of Teams. Chatbots are a great way to empower your employees to self-serve information, whether that's IT support bots to handle routine questions and tasks, a facilities bot to help field requests and dispatch technicians, an HR bot to make it easy to find important company policies and resources, or any of the other infinite possibilities that you can imagine. So let's go ahead and take a look at the process to build and deploy these bots. Well, here I am in Teams. To get started, I've opened the Power Virtual Agents app, which I've already pinned to my app bar. I can create a bot from scratch or open one of the bots that I've already built to edit it. I'm actually going to show you how easy it can be to build a new bot. So I'll click the Start Now button, and I'll be prompted to select the team I'd like to add this bot to. In this case, I'll select the operations team. Now, the first time I build a bot for this team, it may take a little longer to create the environment. It'll be much quicker for subsequent bots. Now, on this Getting Started panel, it shows three main phases of building my bot: authoring specific topics, editing and testing my bot, and then publishing it to make it available to everyone. I'll start at the left and open up the bot topics. For my bot, there are user topics, or those topics that I can update for my unique scenario, for example, finding maintenance manuals. And conveniently, there are a few helpful training lesson topics that I can either use to learn or even use to start building my bot. There are also system topics for handling tasks like greeting a user or ending a conversation. The nice part is that I don't have to make any edits to system topics, but I'm free to if I'd like. Let me go ahead and show you the greetings topic. This is the default greeting when a user starts a conversation with this bot, and there are already a lot of likely trigger phrases. Everything from good morning to hello, I need help. Now this is fine, so let me go ahead to the authoring canvas to adjust how the bot greets the user. This authoring canvas is really where the low-code nature of Power Virtual Agents becomes clear. All we have here are a number of trigger phrases and a few messages that will greet the user. These are fine, but one thing I want to do is have the bot greet the user by name. And to do so, I'll just add a variable to this welcome message with the username. In this case, it's simply a personalized greeting, but since the bot can recognize the user, there are many great ways to develop customized returns to make it easier and quicker for the user to get the information they really need. I'll go ahead and click Save and then go back to my topics. Now, for a user topic, I can create a brand new one or start with these training topics. So let me just pick the very first topic and edit it to something that's useful for me. This lesson 1. So based on these trigger phrases, it seems like this is something for retail, but I want to build a bot to help with operations. So I can just delete these trigger phrases and add some about maintenance and troubleshooting. And of course I can add more, but for now we'll go to the authoring canvas for this bot. So now we have this bot, which is set off by the triggers I just set, followed by a few messages. Again, this is a retail scenario, so I can either update these messages or just delete them and add what I want to. So I will get rid of these. And what I want to do is share a few options that the user can choose from. I'll keep this bot very simple, so I'll just click this plus to add a step. I'll have it ask a question, such as, which equipment are you working on? And here I can just provide multiple choice options. So for example, welding machine, and compressor. So you can see that it's branched already to accommodate the different multiple choice options I entered above. Now, if I want to share the troubleshooting guide for each of these, I can just add a message and include a link to the troubleshooting guide. So you see that I've just added a link to a PDF that has a troubleshooting guide, and it's actually stored the variable from this bot from this above step. So now what will show up in this message is exactly what I'd chosen above, in this case, compressor. I can do the same easily for the others as well. And now I can simply end the conversation. And click Save. And the great part is that I can actually test this bot right from this authoring canvas. So I'll click Test Bot, start the conversation, and you can see that it's actually recognized my name specifically. Also that I need some help with maintenance. And in this case, I'll select the compressor. Great, so here's the link to the troubleshooting guide. Yes, that answered my question. Now it's time to publish this bot so that anyone in my organization can go ahead and use it. I'll click this publishing button and easily just select publish. And there we have it. I'm done. Now let's go ahead and test my bot. There you have it. Building a bot from scratch until we're actually using it inside of Teams in just a few minutes. As you can see, it's very simple. If I can do it, then anyone can. And of course, this is just a very simple example. You can build any sort of complex bots that are unique to your organization's needs. As promised, we have some great resources to get you started exploring scenario ideas with a library of customer use cases, as well as a new Teams and Power Platform ebook that shares several business department scenarios and specific examples, as well as how they can be simplified with low-code apps, bots, and automated workflows in Teams. And to start creating solutions, the app, bot, and Flow in a Day series are great tools to help you or your employees become proficient builders. I still refer to them myself to refresh myself. And if you haven't already, I'd highly encourage you to check out our companion sessions that go into greater depth about the scenarios that customers are solving with this Teams and Power Platform integration, as well as some of the important functionality designed specifically to help admins manage these tools. So to recap, thank you, happy building, and please do share what you're creating with Teams and Power Platform.